5 years ago, I was completely lost in life. I was drinking about 3 times a week, living paycheck to paycheck, just feeling utterly miserable and dissatisfied with my life. Today, 5 years sober, not an alcoholic, we'll get to that, and living in sunny Thailand, even though it is winter. So, for those of you who are new to the channel, I just want to say I am Ben, and I am going to explain to you how easy it is to quit drinking because it just gets so complicated. I speak to loads of men around the ages of 30 to like late 40s, and they all have this one thing in common. They put quitting drinking on this massive pedestal. And I was the same as well. I used to look at it as if like, how the hell am I ever going to overcome this mountain? And I did. And it was easy. And my life has never been better. So, just gonna give you a quick little backstory. Started drinking when I was 15, just going up the pub, going camping when I was in school, you know, good times camping with the girls and boys, drinking WKDs. If you're from the US, in the UK we get like a little crate of WKDs in like the cardboard wrapper. Like you go camping and you crack one open and you start drinking it, and then the box would like collapse on the floor, and like WKDs would be like rolling down the bank of the hill. Anyway, you'd get to like four WKDs and they'd be like 4%, and then you'd just be hammered. Funny enough, you never used to get hangovers. You just used to fall asleep, wake up in the morning, fresh as a daisy, go back home. Your mum would make you breakfast, a bacon sandwich, and then you'd be out on your bike and enjoying the day. Then you turn 18 or 21, depending if you're from the UK or US. I remember about 16, I was getting into nightclubs, sneaking into bars, getting pints, used to drink Fosters. I remember being 18, going to this pub with my friends, and I would drink 3 to 4 pints of Fosters, and then I'd be outside spewing. And then I found cocaine, would often do cocaine, so alcohol and cocaine go hand in hand. But wasn't always drinking and doing drugs. And this is where things started taking a turn for the worst. When I was I 17? I got arrested so many times, but the first time I got in serious trouble, I remember we got this like supermarket called Tesco, and I think I was 17 or 18. Anyway, these boys were trying to sell us pills, like ecstasy pills, and they were quite rough. And I politely declined, as any 18-year-old teenager would, half tipsy. Went into this supermarket, and my friend kind of knew these two guys outside who tried to sell me drugs. And he said, they're waiting outside for you and they're going to beat you up. So, me being a unskilled young man who couldn't fight at the time, who was half cut, decided to walk outside with a shopping basket, covering his face at one hand. Like, how can I explain it? Like I was a knight going onto the battlefield. I had my shield here, and then this was my weapon. Walked outside. I think, what did I do? Threw the basket, swung a punch at this guy. I think I completely missed actually. And then I think I landed another one, and then one ran off. Anyway, the fight just stopped. Jumped into my mate's car, we drive around the corner, and then a riot van. If you're from the US, it's like this big police van. They caught us on CCTV camera. I had this jumper on that had blood all down it, and I took that jumper off, hid it in the car, and they pulled us over, and they searched, found me, they arrested me, got community service. Basically, you have to go out and work in the community, and you basically do that instead of going to prison. So I had that, and then one night on a Wednesday, I decided to go out for student night at the age of 18, very spontaneous. And this is where my life changed. Went out, got into a fight in a nightclub with this girl that I used to go out with. She was in college with these boys, and a couple of them play professional rugby union for Wales. They had successful careers, and I basically got into a bit of an argument with one of them. Threw a punch, shattered his cheekbone, and ran off, and then all his mates tracked me down, basically beat the crap out of me in this room. I remember running into like this back room where they keep all the bottles and all the garbage. And I remember running to like this fire door, trying to push the fire door to get out to escape because all these boys were going to kick my head in. And it was like a film, like it wouldn't open. And I was like, oh, tried another one, wouldn't open. And then they all come in, boom, kicked the shit out of me, stole my phone. I got arrested. Previous to this, we'd had a fight on the dance floor, and I was actually trying to exit the club. And then, as I was exiting the club, I crossed paths with this boy, so I just hit him straight away. It was kill or be killed. So I went to prison for that, and then I came out of prison, went back in again for another fight outside a nightclub. Basically, long story short, is that every time I would go out drinking, I would get into a fight with someone, and I went to prison twice. And basically ruined my life. And another time as well, I remember I went out partying and I took loads of sleeping tablets because I was taking drugs and I couldn't sleep. They were my dad's like anti-psychotic pills. He's actually dead now. He had MS. Very sad watching him get sick for like 20 years, like not being able to walk and being bed bound. Terrible. Took loads of his pills, literally almost died. Was in hospital on a life support machine. I don't ever speak about this really, but didn't die and decided to train as an electrician. Still drinking up until 28. Decided to go work in Europe on like Google data centers or data centers as you Americans call them. And then headed off to Australia. And this is where my life changed. Within 9 months of being in Australia, I got to see a new way of living. Sunny weather, day drinking, less drugs, beach, outdoor activities. I was living in Sydney and I decided after 9 months of being in Australia I was going to quit drinking. Ironically, not quitting water. And COVID hit. So I was a sober man during COVID and I broke up with my missus. Probably one of the most difficult times of my life. And not to mention I was actually living away in the middle of nowhere in a place called Dubbo and Goulburn. It's like the sticks of Australia. It's not quite the outback, but it could be regarded as the bush. So I was working out there, working for an electrical firm, trying to earn my second year visa. A very lonely, dark time. Yeah, pretty difficult, to be honest. Yeah, fuck. Making me a little bit sad, that is. Anyway, yeah, started doing personal development, stuck through that, stopped drinking, and the first thing I could gravitate to was to focus on my body and get my body in shape. And I did it, and I'm now 5 years sober, and I teach other people how to quit drinking. But an important point I want to just highlight as well is that it is easy to quit drinking. I know I was quite fortunate, looking back now. It was COVID, so I couldn't really go out to pubs as much. We did have access to going out, but I couldn't. I could have drank at home, I suppose. So it was me who stopped myself drinking. But I really doubled down on like trying to change my life, and this is the biggest bit of advice I can give to you. If you're not happy with where you are, then you have to take steps. You have to take action towards fixing it. That's why I'm very like future focus driven. I don't believe in talking about the past, even though I'm talking about it now. Even if it did make me a little bit sad, I don't know why. But you gotta have a vision for the future. You've gotta like really wanna like strive for something good, because if you don't want to strive for something good, what's the point in quitting drinking? I had a call with someone and I spoke to them and I asked them what their goals were. Didn't have any. Didn't have a job. Was just sitting at home. How are you gonna stop drinking? Like, I get people need help and they need direction, but when you're ready to stop, you will know, because you'll have enough pain in your life. and you'll know that you're not where you want to be, and you'll know or have a rough idea where you want to be. And then it all stems from there. It's about building a life which is too good to waste drinking, and that leaves no time for a hangover. And then you build a system to fill in the gaps of where you would be drinking, that time where you're feeling a bit lonely, a bit bored. Maybe you don't like the life that you have right now, you don't like the job you have, or you're in a relationship that's not serving you. I know for me, both of them were a thing as well. I used to have this thing, I'm rambling a bit now, but hopefully you can relate to some of these points. I used to have a thing in my last relationship, and this was like 2 years into me being sober. Every Sunday, I used to work 6 days a week as an electrician. Every Sunday I'd have like a meltdown. I'd watch the UFC. I'd have this massive euphoric high. And the UFC would come on about 10 o'clock in the morning. It would finish about 4 in the afternoon. And it would like, that was escapism for me. Because it was my only day off. And I would use that high to watch the UFC to like escape. And then as soon as it would finish, it would suck all my energy. Sports suck all your energy. And I'd have a massive crash and low. So you get lows from everything, not just drinking, not just drugs, but have a massive low. And then I would realise that I had work again in the morning. And my life would come back to me, and I'd be like, I don't have the money I want, my relationship's bad, I'm stuck in a small apartment, I'm 32. And then I'd have a meltdown, and my ex-missus would always say, you always have a Sunday meltdown. And only since I quit my job in December and moved to Australia, moved to Thailand, I realised I was having a meltdown every Sunday because I was going to work on a Monday, and I built this life which was a prison that I built when I was a drinker, and I was now still a prisoner of. So I'd quit drinking, but I was still living in this life that I built. And it was at that moment, well, not that moment, but last December, I finally said, right, I don't want to be a Sparky anymore. I'm really passionate about making content. First, it was making content for men about how to improve themselves. And then I started talking about drinking. And then I got a bit embarrassed about talking about drinking because I thought that women wouldn't be interested in me because they'd think I was an alcoholic, even though there's no such thing as an alcoholic. And this is what keeps most guys stuck, is that you don't see yourself as an alcoholic, and you're not an alcoholic. Therefore, you keep drinking, but drinking is like burning away at your life, it's stealing your potential. You'd probably be better off being told that you're going to die next year and that you have to stop, because then you would stop. But if you're anything like me, you go like 10 years of like self-sabotage because you in that middle lane where you're not an alcoholic, but alcohol's causing you a problem. And before you know it, you're 50 years of age, you're out of shape, you've got no money, and your wife's left you, and you're in a hell of a mess because you've only got like, a good 10, 15 years, depending on your health, to live. So that's a bit of a long story, but yeah, I quit alcohol, man, and it's just so easy to do. Like, it's just really easy. You just need to have a vision for the future. I just can't say, if you knew me, going to prison twice, getting arrested about over 10, 12 times, I can't even remember. Just taking drugs, drinking all the time, like not going to bed, failed relationship after failed relationship, paycheck to paycheck, waking up in the mornings hungover, but like beating myself up because I hadn't slept well and I wasn't performing in work, which made me feel like I wasn't good enough. And I wasn't good enough. But I am good enough up here now. It's because I'm fresh and I put my progress first. So I've got a training video for 2025. I suggest that you watch it if you've got this far. It'll definitely help you. I was stuck for so many years and it really isn't that complicated. I quit drinking on my own. I know a lot of people can't. Maybe eventually you will be able to stop, but it depends how much of your life you want to burn away. So I'm going to leave you with that. But yeah, if you need my help, just reach out to me. And let me know in the comments as well, what is the number one thing that's stopping you from drinking, that's stopping you from quitting? I bet, when you put it down in the comment section, It might be something stupid like, oh, I won't have any friends. And then you'll read it and you'll think, well, if my friends aren't going to be my friends because I'm not drinking anymore, what sort of friends are they? You know, you just have these little, can't remember the word now. But yeah, you just come to these conclusions. You're like, I didn't quit drinking because of that. That's crazy. So anyway, I have a video, no craving, no problem. You can watch it here. I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.